welcome to another video. Hopefully you're having a great day. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are taking some field trips, and this is the first field trip of 3, so extra bonus points if you can find all 3 on the New York City DOE YouTube account, YouTube channel. But we are on Google Arts and Culture, so if you want to explore by yourself, you can go to this site in your own time and explore. To be specific, we are going to be exploring some of our national parks, which they are fantastic and beautiful. And you'll see up here the exact link to go to. All right, so let's jump in. So this is the hidden worlds of the national parks. Follow rangers on a journey to places most people never go. So if you don't ever get a chance to go to these places, now's your chance. Let's start exploring.
Our national parks are wonderlands, amazing places to explore and discover. The beauty, it's obvious, but there's a hidden world you won't see on any map. To find that world, you need a guide. Park rangers know where to look, where to listen, where to climb, where to dive. Join them on an adventure to discover the parks in a completely new way. Come explore the hidden worlds of the national parks.
So, some vocabulary. A park ranger is someone who takes care of a national park. So, if you want to be out in nature all the time and you love science and you love taking care of nature, including the plants and the animals and the entire world of that park, a park ranger might be a good option for you in the future. I personally know a park ranger and she loves her job. She gets to spend a lot of time outdoors and a lot of time educating people on her park. Well, it's not her park, it's the national park. Anyway. All right, let's go to Alaska first.
1,000 miles north of the continental United States lies a land where the Ice Age still lingers. Come join Park Ranger Fiona North and explore the mountains, glaciers, and lagoons of Kenai Fjords National Park.
This place is wild in the truest sense of the word. It's inaccessible in the winter, and there are only a few trails in the entire park. But the ruggedness isn't intimidating, it's inviting. The connections here are so obvious between the mountains and the ocean, the glaciers and the animals. Everything just works the way nature intended. What excites me so much about Kenai Fjords is seeing things I've never seen before. I moved here from New York City, and once I saw what it was like, I didn't want to leave. Look down. You're standing above a crevasse on Exit Glacier. Exit Glacier is one of the most visited parts of the park, but very few people get to come up here and walk out onto the ice or venture into one of its crevasses. Climb down and join me.
So one of the things that the park ranger mentioned is that I'm going to mute for a little bit, this part of the Kenai Fjords is inaccessible. Inaccessible just means that not a lot of people can get to it, or no one can get to it. And this, I don't know if you heard, but this is called a crevasse. What do you think a crevasse is? We're looking at one. What do you think this is? So crevasse is just a deep open crack, and especially in glaciers. So we get to climb down into the crevasse now.
We're in a crevasse, about 30 feet below the surface of the glacier. It feels so still, but the ice is actually moving as it flows downhill. A week from now, this place will look completely different. So take a look around and then climb out of the crevasse to see how the glacier has receded over the years.
So this glacier is actually moving, and we can't see it moving right now because it's moving slowly. But she said in a week, it's gonna look completely different. All right, let's watch a glacier melt.
The massive ice in front of you was the toe or end of Exit Glacier when I first arrived at the park. The glacier has retreated 46 feet per year on average, but in the past few years that has spiked dramatically. It's been melting about 150 feet per year. At this rate, where will the ice be 10 years from now? How long before it's not even here at all?
So you may have talked about global warming or climate change in your class. This is evidence of climate change. So we have 2004. Let me use this really quick. We have 2004. This is the glacier right then. Hopefully you caught what she was saying and really thought about it. So this is 2004, then 2007. Wow, that's a big jump. That's only 3 years. And then 2009, that's only 2 years. And then this is 2013. So it's receding, it's going back. And this is 2016, which is what it looked like in 2016. And if it were to continue receding, picture in your brain, in your mind, what it would look like in 2021. Do you think it grew? Do you think it shrunk some more? What do you think? All right, let's kayak through. Actually, let's look around first, right? That's the whole point of this is to look around. Beautiful Alaskan mountains here. It might be kind of wet and muddy, rocky maybe. See a lot of water. Where do you think that water is coming from? All right. Let's go kayaking. Has anyone ever kayaked before?
Bear Glacier ends into its own meltwater lagoon, which is where we are right now. Take a kayak journey of your own. Witness a humpback whale soar out of the water. Watch a glacier calving huge chunks of ice into the sea. Listen to sounds of the lagoon from underneath its surface.
So this is a kayak. We are also in a kayak. You can see our helmet right there. Let's explore some of the other things in this little area here. All right, so what is this? Kayak through icebergs. Let's go.
We came out here today to paddle for recreation, but Alaskan Native, Aluptic, or Supiat people have been coming out here for thousands of years. Kayaks were actually invented by Alaskan Natives as a mode of transportation and a way to get out and hunt for the food they needed to survive. These icebergs have calved or broken off from the face of the glacier, and then they've been carved by the water. It's kind of like we're floating around in a sculpture garden. Since most of the ice can be hidden under the surface of the water, it could flip over at any minute, so we don't want to get too close.
All right, I don't know if you caught what she said there, but she said that let me mute really quick. She said that we can't go too close to the glaciers because there might be more underneath that we can't see and it would flip our kayak. So the way icebergs and glaciers are is that there's a little bit on top of the water, but most of the iceberg or glacier sits actually under the water and we can't see. So if you've ever seen a graphic where the It's just the tip of the iceberg. That's what people say. That's just the tip of the iceberg, meaning that there's a whole bunch of information or a whole bunch of iceberg underneath the water that we can't see. So if someone says, that's just the tip of the iceberg, they're saying that there's a whole bunch of more information that you don't know, that you can't even see. All right, let's watch a whale breach. And keep in mind, ask yourself, what does breach mean? What do you think it means?
One of the most surreal things you'll ever see is a 40-ton humpback whale soaring out of the water. As cool as it is to watch, we don't know for sure why they breach.
Very cool. So, breach, what do you think it means? Breach means to break through water. So that whale jumped out of the water and splashed around. That is that whale breaching. Dolphins are famous for breaching the surface of the water, and they like to play and they like to travel fast. So you'll see a lot of pictures of dolphins in the air kind of breaching the water, like flying above the ocean.
Calving happens when chunks of icebergs break off the end or the terminus of the glacier. These icebergs can range in size from tiny pieces to floating mountains.
Wow, look at that wave. And remember, we're super far away, so this is a lot bigger than it looks. Wow. And again, some of you covered global warming. That is what's happening in climate change / global warming, is pieces of glaciers are falling off into the water and making the sea level rise just tiny bit by tiny bit. But those tiny bits add up to a significant amount. All right, let's fly over Bear Glacier.
The thickest part of Bear Glacier is about 1,800 feet, meaning that the ice actually goes below sea level. If Bear Glacier were to ever fully recede, it wouldn't reveal land. It could leave behind a lake or lagoon, potentially a whole new arm off Resurrection Bay. Glaciers like this one are good indicators of climate change because we can track their changes over time. So when you hear about somewhere having the coldest winter on record, that's not really what matters. It's the longer trends in weather patterns that are most important.
Yeah, and remember weather versus climate. Weather is the day-to-day temperature, how windy it is, how humid it is. That's day-to-day, minute-to-minute. Climate is the average, the total maybe change. It's a longer period of time, and that is what climate change measures. It's not the changes in weather, it's the changes in climate, those longer periods of time, sort of the averages. All right, and that is it for this first mini field trip. If you want to catch another with me, we are going to be visiting Hawaii volcanoes in the next video. So have a great summer. I will see you whenever.